everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olusore, and like I always say, whatever time of day I get to be here discussing whatever topic that we're discussing, I am very excited. I feel this joy in me whenever I have to sit to have conversations like this. And I know, and thank you all for the feedback that I have gotten. Very, very good, progressive feedback. I like that you're listening, you're getting value, you're taking action, and for the constructive feedbacks as well. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, please like, share, subscribe. Today, we're discussing something very, very, very important to everybody. And I'm here with someone that is important to me and special to me as well. I'm here with Dr. Mayowa Olusoji. Um, Mayowa Olusoji is a master coach, professional speaker, and best-selling author, as well as a vast accredited financial educator. He transcends the typical focus on figures and ledgers, championing the cause of financial education globally. He serves as a navigator towards money mastery and is widely recognized for his proficiency in simplifying complex financial data into clear and actionable insights. Highly esteemed as a master in data interpretation and analysis, he stands as a fervent supporter of your financial empowerment and goals. Dr. Mayowa Olusoji is the founder of the Power to Know Coaching Company, and they are your guide to your financial freedom. So please make welcome with me, Dr. Mayowa Olusoji.
Hi, Olusoji.
So typically when we're on calls like this, is different conversations we're having. So I think he's trying to warm up into the fact that he's my guest on today's show. Is like, when are we going to start talking about the real deal, the business of the day, right? Because when we get on calls, it's like, okay, what are we doing? What's the plan? What happened? Da, 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 da. So this is a different and thank you for taking the time from your schedule to come have this conversation with me, as well as with my audience, the members of the community that watch this podcast. I am excited about the conversation. So we're talking about 30 years forward, 30 years backwards, talking about your financial growth, your financial freedom. And I have a couple of questions that we have talked about. So we're working forward and working backwards for millennials, Gen Zs. People have moved. It's a very, very unique climb, but maybe not different from when you were much younger, because this is a journey that you have walked as well, right? We have people that have come, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years from different parts of Africa and the world into United Kingdom. Some having to start over again from their career, some not even having clarity, but what all here. So if we were to start like 30 years away from financial freedom, what was the what okay, I think the first question to ask is, what is financial freedom? What is financial freedom?
Thanks, Olusoji, for that. Now, financial freedom is a very, very interesting subject. It's the reason is because it's it means different things to different people.
Okay.
And really, financial freedom, in the sense of it, is when you get to a place whereby making decisions are not completely hinged on the availability of or your bank balance, basically. So what does that mean? It means it gets to a point whereby you really don't have to work, but your bills are being paid. So that means you don't have to be in active employment, but the returns that is generated from your investments, your passive investments, actually covers your monthly outgoing. Let me give you an example. If it costs £5,000 for you to actually live in the United Kingdom every month, and you have an investment that is paying you £5,000 every month, you're financially free because you really don't have to do anything, but the level of life you've set is actually being met based on what is coming. So financial freedom is a definition of what are your goals, what are your aspirations, eventually what's the kind of life you want to live. Because the kind of life that £5,000 a month can live is not the same kind of life that £20,000 a month can live. So it comes to the point whereby financial freedom is actually it's a personalized tailored suit that has a lot of designs and embroideries and colors that is completely up to you to design it. You could go for a simple shirt, t-shirts, and a pair of shorts. You're still
Mm,
well dressed. Or you could go
mm,
for a three-piece suit
mm,
by Giorgio, Vincent, whatever name you want to put on it,
mm,
with a
mm,
lovely heart, with a Carrera sunglasses and all of that. You're still looking good.
mm,
Or you could actually go for, the big agbada style, whereby you have two layers under, you have one 20
mm.
yard agbada on top of it with all the embroidery on top of it. Now, the cost of all of this are all different.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about financial freedom, is your ability to say, okay, this is what it's going to cost to run my life, and I have an
Mm,
investment that is going to cover it. Because if you have an investment that is giving you 5,000 a month, and it takes 6,000 a month to run your life, you're not financially free yet because you still have to run for 1,000. So
yeah.
that is the definition, basically. So it is always extremely personalized based on your goals, your vision, and your objectives, basically.
Amazing. 1 second. I just go and knock on the door. I'll cut this part out just 1 second. Awesome. Okay, so that is such a phenomenal example, right? So it is financial freedom is highly personalized, right? And I really love the shirt analogy that you gave. So what kind of outfit, think about your life like a cloth or clothing. So what kind of cloth do you want your life to look like? Do you want it to look like boxers and just shirts? Or do you want to have all the designer outfits like you mentioned, the agbada? So first of all, you need to plan, what kind of life do I want to have? Then the ability to afford my lifestyle, that lifestyle that I've envisioned without having to actively work is what financial freedom is. So essentially, financial freedom starts with the vision for your life. So without a vision for your life, and I think for me that's very, very important. Without a vision for your own life, it's very difficult to then now imagine what being free looks like. Right. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Um, I think I have another question along the lines of, so now now I have this vision for my life, but I've had to make certain decisions for certain reasons that are now like, okay, things are happening. I've had to move countries. I've had to change jobs. Please hold on. I've had to change jobs. I've had to do like different things. I'm a new mom. I recently got married. Different things, right? So how can will I say readjust my vision? Maybe not, but incorporate the new changes in the vision for my life. Do you get the question?
Absolutely. So this is what life should be. It's not always like this. It should be.
Mm,
You should seek clarity as early as possible.
mm, mm,
Clarity of who sets direction.
mm,
So let me give an example. You want to go from where you are, you want to go to London. You're very clear earlier on you want to go to London, whatever the case is. You've actually, so what do? You take the address of London, you put it into your sat nav, and it
Mm-hmm.
tells you you're going to get to London in 4 hours, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, along the line, while you're going, you remember you want to actually greet, want to stop by to greet Damilola, where she lives. It was not part of the plan. Or something happened that you had to, so you got carried away or something. When you go out of that way, out of your way, you go off M1, wherever you go to, you see Dami, you do whatever you want to do with Dami. Then you want to come back. Do you know one thing that the sat nav does? The sat nav constantly will route you everywhere you are. But you know
Mm,
what happens? The time required to get to your destination increases.
yeah. Mm, mm,
And this is where adjustments that is required needs to be made.
mm,
So every time there is a change to your plan, there has to be a change to what financial freedom means to you.
mm,
The reason is because the clock does not stop based on the decisions you made.
mm,
Life is on the clock.
mm,
And it's the clock that
mm,
determines what time you get to where you are going.
mm, mm.
So when that time is running, but
Yeah.
what you're required to do as a bit tall, that means it takes you longer to get to where you need to go. That means there has to be either you decide not to go to London again, or you
Mm,
decide not to stay as long as you want to stay where you are so you can quickly get back on the road, or you decide there will be no more stops on the road, you're just going to drive straight. Whatever you do, just know there is what is called the opportunity cost of time. You cannot unwind the time. So that is why it's important whereby, let's say you set a goal like you would like to live this kind of life when you grow up. That is
mm,
great. I appreciate that. But one thing you have to bear in mind that is crucial is this. Every time that timeline of that dream is impacted by other activities, it takes you longer to get there.
mm, mm,
And you truncate the ability of what money can do because the more time money has, the
mm,
less money you require to get the same amount of money.
mm,
The
mm.
less time money has, the more money you require to get to the same
Can you say
goal
it
you're
again,
looking to
please?
go to.
Can you say it again?
The more time money has, the less of the money is required to achieve a thing.
Yeah.
The less time you have, the
The
more
more
money you require
money.
to achieve a
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Just like you want to travel tomorrow, the cost of the flights will be different.
Yeah.
You know you're traveling tomorrow and you bought the ticket 6 months ago, the price will be different.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same destination, it's the same place you're going, but the cost is different. So there's a
Mm.
relationship between time and
Money.
money.
Mm.
Yeah.
So a lot of things has been said. So I really want to clarify and pick out some key points for everyone listening. So the analogy of traveling via the M1 route, and you need to go and see Dami, right? So there is always an opportunity cost of time. That's both a cost and a blessing because yeah,
Yes.
it's both a curse and a blessing because imagine you've had a certain detour to your life, right? You can always start again. You don't have to go back to the M1 to pick yourself back up. You can start from wherever you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You can start from wherever you are and you will still get to London. It might take a bit of time, but
Mm-hmm.
you will still get there. And it's a caution that, oh, you've lost some time, but it can always be bought back. I'm a firm believer that, you know, all things are aligned. So the fact that you experience certain detours, certain losses, whatever it is, right? All things are still aligned. You can start from where you are and you can move. So you also mentioned the time and money relationship, right? The more time you have, the less money is required to achieve a certain goal or a certain objective, right? and that's the more time, the less time you then have, the more money you. So it's like an inverse relationship
Yeah.
between, yeah, it's an inverse relationship between time and money. So another question, is money really the goal? Should making money be the goal? Making like is because I understand that money is a currency. So is money the goal?
Thank you for the question there. Now I'm going to answer it with, with some explanation. Money is not the goal.
Okay.
Understand that.
Okay.
Money is not the scorecard. What is more important is money is the vehicle that makes it possible to achieve the goal.
Mm, mm,
There is on earth, there is hardly anything that is possible without the use or exchange of monetary value. I'm using monetary value in the sense that somebody can do something
mm,
because you're not paying for it does not mean there is no value to it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So monetary value.
mm,
So it's you being able to understand that. So when I'm talking about money, I'm actually talking about monetary value, not necessarily the physical cash that we have. And
okay.
also, there is also an impact on the physical cash that we have because if you were to be, if anything you can do, you earn the same amount of money, would you be doing what you do? That's the question I
Mm,
ask a lot of people. Most people will say no.
mm-hmm.
So that means people are doing what they're doing right now because of money.
Modern
So
day
it's
slavery.
important to understand. Sometimes it could be, but I think sometimes it's probably poor choice we've made in the past that has come
Mm,
back to haunt
mm,
us, or it's probably about we not being able to see a lot of things in life is actually more dependent on the actions
mm,
that we've taken, the decisions we've made, that
mm,
we are not living within the consequences rather than what life is. Let me give you an example. My favorite book talks about this young boy who went to his father and said, "Give me everything. I want to go." Now, anybody who sees that boy lying down among the pigs will say, what kind of a father is this boy's father that allows this boy to be living the kind of life this boy is living?
mm-hmm.
But nobody would know that it was the decisions that the boy
Yeah,
made,
yeah,
that
yeah.
the boy is currently within the
Mm,
consequential realm of that decision.
mm,
So most of the time, when we are going through a phase that is a consequence of decisions we made, we externalize that and we
mm,
blame everything around, but not actually focusing on could this actually be the consequence of a decision I made earlier on in life?
yeah.
And
Mm,
so, as much as I'm not saying every time, but I'm saying there is a lot of time when that is the case. So,
mm,
it's for us to be able to have that and balance that. So, when it comes to that money, just like if you had 30 years and you invested £50 a month for
mm-hmm.
30 years, you would have about £120,000 after 30 years. Now, if you cut down that timeline into half, you're actually not going to get half of that money. Let us quickly work that out.
Okay.
Let me find my calculation so we quickly work that out. So £50 every month gives you 120,000 in 30 years. But if you now do £50,
Mm.
I like data because I know data is not biased. £50 monthly
That's times 12.
in S&P 500
Mm.
for 15 years. Okay, so what is the data telling us we would have? Okay, it's telling us we're going to have 21,000.
1,000, yeah. Hmm.
If we started 15 years earlier, we would have 120,000. You would have assumed that because we started 15 years later, we should have around 60,000.
No.
So, and that is the secret to life. There is a principle in life called the principle of compounding.
Yeah.
The more time you have, the ability, the force of compounding can build.
Mm.
The less time you have, the less compounding can take effect on the subject. So imagine, just because somebody started 15 years later, they got 20,000. You started 15 years before, you got 120,000. So the difference in that 15 years is actually 100,000.
Mm. That's what it cost you for not making that
Yeah.
decision.
For
That.
not actually investing that £50 15
Mm.
years early. And
Mm.
we think about life in like, okay, if someone started 15 years before me and I started 15 years later, at least I should get half of what they get. No, you will not.
Mm.
So though you invested half of the money they invested, you are not getting half of their returns. You get their return is 120, your return is 20.
That's not even up to
And
half.
that
It's not even up to
happens, and that
quarter.
is not. And that see, that example is reflective in everything else in life.
Mm. I think the lesson here is to start and start now.
Absolutely. See,
Whatever it
the
is.
best time was yesterday.
Yeah.
The next best time is
Now.
now.
Yeah. Whatever it is, just start and start now. Because when you then
Immediately.
put it in that data form, right? I'm a more qualitative person, right? So, but thinking in data just brings it to life, right? So the best time,
Is
start now.
now.
The best time is to start now.
Now.
So I think that leads me to my next question, right? About because you answered, but I will still ask the question about myths about financial freedom. What are myths about financial freedom?
Okay. So can you run that again so I can understand the
You know,
question?
you had mentioned how that people would assume that because you started half the time, you should get half the results, right? But that's a
Mm-hmm.
myth. So what other
Mm-hmm.
myths are there about financial freedom?
Oh, this is this is one of the biggest myths. Whatever would be. No, whatever will be will not be. There
Mm,
is no case, Sarah. As you lay your bed,
mm,
so you would lie on it. See, my favorite book says something. He said, God is not mocked.
mm.
Whatsoever a man sows,
He'll reap.
he will reap. And see, most of the things in life, they are consequential.
Mm,
Number two, people don't pay enough attention to their finances like they pay to the activities they engage
hmm.
in getting those finances. Let me give you an example. People can work 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 20 hours a day, and they would not miss a shift or miss work for one day in 5, 10 years.
Mm,
But those same people cannot give count of what they have done with the fruits of that labor.
hmm, hmm, hmm,
Do you translate your expenses relative to the hours it takes you to acquire that?
hmm,
If you earn £10 an hour and you buy a coffee that is £7 with a snack on it that is £11. The question there is, you just exchange 1 hour of your life
for
for that thing. The question
mhm,
there is it worth it?
hmm,
But the more we begin to look at our financial transaction and dealings
hmm.
relative to the hours it took to actually
Actually,
acquire
yeah.
that, the more we will begin to think differently. You want to buy
Hmm,
that shoe? I know that shoe is £500.
hmm.
The question there is how many hours
Now the
of your
work.
life's work
Hmm.
goes into you acquiring a liability?
That may not even be there in the next 2 to 3 years.
It will not. Tell me the shoe you bought 5 years ago. Where is it?
Can't even remember.
I don't care how much you paid for it. But if you if you're taking that, see, I'm not telling you not to look good. You should not get me
Yeah.
wrong. I know the Gen Zs, we very look, it's good to look
Because
good
I was
and
going
as
to
part
ask,
of the
so where is
figure.
now the balance? I think that's going
Now,
to
the
be my
balance is you can look good without breaking the bank. Just
yeah.
look and act your wage.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, there are levels of stores that's addressable to your income.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be shopping in Harrods.
Hmm.
When you see where I'm going.
Yeah.
You have no business in Harrods if you're not a millionaire. And when I mean millionaire, I mean your net worth is in the millions.
And you're not a
So see
millionaire by
people
fate, oh. We are all millionaires. But your own is you are not, you're an actual millionaire. No.
by your net worth. What are you
Hmm.
worth? And that is when you take what you own minus what you owe.
Yeah.
So it's all about you putting your coat below your size. You know, people say cut your coat according to your size. No, you cut that coat below your size so you can shrink and fit into it.
Hmm.
Because it is not what you make that matters. We chase making money so much. It is what you keep
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
matters.
Hmm.
If you make £10,000 a month and you spend £9,000 a month, you've only kept one.
Hmm.
If somebody makes 5,000 a month and they spend 2,500 a month, they've
Hmm.
kept 2,500. On paper, when people look at both of you outside, you look like you're doing better.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in terms of financial health, they
Hmm.
are a lot more healthy than you are.
Yes. Hmm.
So it is
Oh,
never
wow.
what you earn. It's not a
Hmm.
perspective of, I like good earnings give you potentials, but it is what you keep.
You're
What
able to
percentage of
keep.
your income are you keeping?
Hmm.
I tell when I meet people, the first thing I want to know is okay, it's good you earn a lot, that's great, but what percentage are you retaining?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Because it is the potential of your next harvest is in the portion of the seed you've kept from this current harvest.
Hmm.
That's why people go 20 years working and they cannot take 2 months out without work and they will not be in finance. Did you actually know that statistics say 64% of the population are one paycheck away from financial trouble? Over 70% of homes cannot respond to a £1,000 emergency without turning to overdraft or credit card.
Hmm. Hmm.
There is no way you work for 20, 25 years and you cannot go away for 3 months without worrying what's going to happen to you.
Hmm.
One of my mentors says this that he's been haunting me since I heard it over 3 years ago. He says, whatever you slay in your 20s and your 30s, you will eat in your 50s.
Hmm.
Be careful what you slay.
Hmm.
See, Gen Zs, we have this, it's everybody, but I think it's quite common among Gen Zs is we've been sold a consumption habits of lifestyle.
Hmm.
As long as they give you the option to pay monthly, you don't care about the original cost.
Hmm.
You get an iPhone 17, you say, what is it now? I'm just paying £40 a month. I know. But you know that £40 a month, some people have been paying £40 a month for the past 20 years.
Hmm.
Imagine you have a phone contract that you pay £40 a month for 30 years. That is over £110,000 that is gone on your phone and you
Just
taking
fun.
on the phone.
Yeah.
So it is all about those are the myths that you need to
Hmm.
bust. It is not what you earn, it is what you keep. The question is, what percentage of your income are you keeping?
Hmm. Hmm.
That is the foundation. That is where you start.
Hmm. 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 And like what you said, that all we have talked about is just the foundation. So imagine if you haven't gotten the foundation right. There's a lot of work to be done.
You
Because
know, my
it
favorite book says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
can rebuild. It gets
So,
up
and I
and
tell people that
down.
if the foundation is not right,
Mm, mm,
we have to go back and visit it. See, this is one thing that when buildings have problems, If it's the window, we can change it. If
Mm,
anything happens. But architects will say, is that building got a structural problem?
mm,
If the building has a structural problem, there's a bigger problem.
mm-hmm, mm, mm.
So
Wow.
when there is a structural problem, that means structure in the foundation. So if you know your problem is rooted in the foundation, then you know there is a bigger problem at play.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's all got a solution.
Yeah, it is. It definitely does. So if you're listening to this conversation at whatever time of day, and you know that you are in the below the foundation, like you don't even, you've worked for so long, you don't even know how much there is that you can keep. You don't even know how much you can keep because you just feel like you're drowning in bills. Inflation is hitting you every year, left, right, and center. Please head over to mayowaolusoji.com and get financial coaching. Because honestly, if you look at it, you feel like the money I'm making is not even enough for me to get by. And then you are saying that I should try to keep some things, but your like what you said, your mentor said to you that it is what you slay in your 20s determine what you eat in your 50s. So essentially, if you're not keeping things now, if you're not putting those system in place now, you are preparing yourself to be the same person that you are in your 20s, in your 50s, essentially.
Absolutely.
You're not let's say reimagining yourself or reinvent. The word is reinvent here. You are not reinventing yourself. You are just copying and pasting this year into next year until then you're 50. And this is, of course, everyone knows that I'm a Christian, and I'm not quiet about that. But the Bible says, buy knowledge and sell it not. Right. So if you are interested, if you need help of any kind, please head over to mayowaolusoji.com, right? And
MyOnSage.com, yeah.
yeah, mayowaolusoji.com. And then you need to register for a session. I think the way it works, you have like a clarity session and then determine what it's bespoke, so it's not one size fits all. We know what you need, we know where your problem is, and then we can address, or he can address, I'm saying we, like, he can address what the situation is. And for anyone listening, we've gotten a discount code. Join, use discount code Olusore. That's my name, Olusore, and you just might get yourself a discount from getting a coaching session with Dr. Mayowa Olusoji. So let's head on to another question, right? So what's so you said 50 years, 30 years. What was the one decision you made 30 years ago that has accounted for a lot of your financial success, or yeah, a lot, and empowered you financially? One, because I'm putting myself in the shoes of somebody listening that they're so confused, they don't even know where where to start, right? That one decision that you made, that one.
Actually, for me, one of the decisions I made very earlier on in life was I made a decision not to be a consumer.
Mm,
I've always maybe it came to me naturally. I'm more of conservative with money naturally than than I knew then. So
mm-hmm,
if I had 100, I would always keep maybe more than half of it somehow. I'd always been conscious. I'd never really liked the inability not to have tomorrow. So I've
mm-hmm,
always been tomorrow conscious. I've always been. So
mm-hmm,
anything that would not serve me in the near future, I'm very, very careful when it comes to my approach into how eventually do I put my money on that.
mm,
And
mm,
that's it for me. It's all about my grandma always says something. My grandma would always say this. My grandma says that she says, that's always set money aside for the rainy day. She said, because my son, it will always rain.
Mm, mm. Okay.
And that is what she always says, that always set that money aside. I say, why? Because it will always rain. That is the nature of life. So that is one of it. Even before I really understood financial, though along the way I got carried away and all of that, but it was always in me. So for somebody who is thinking of how to start, they don't know what to do. The first thing I would tell you there is the first thing you actually need to do is to know that whatever situation you are now,
Mm,
determine in your heart that you will not consume everything that comes through your hands.
mm,
And when I mean consume, paying your rent is consumption. You can't go back and collect the money you paid last week. Paying your mobile phone bills is consumption. Anything that leaves your hand and does not multiply is consumption.
mm, mm.
So you will decide and say, a portion of all I earn is mine and mine to keep. I did
Mm.
not say save for holiday that you spend eventually. Imagine you've been putting £50 only in an investment vehicle for 30 years. That is £120,000. Nothing else,
Mm,
just £50
mm,
only.
mm.
So that is what I'm going to tell. And secondly, please don't try to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Get a coach. Do you know that if you put that same £50, if you put it in what we call FTSE 100, that means the stock market within the UK, the return you will get is 53,000.
Mm,
And if you take that same £50, you put it in S&P 500, you will get 120,000. So
mm.
two people labored and they set money aside. But because they set money in different
Very
things,
hot.
their return was different. Please get a coach.
Mm, mm,
So you can actually start 30 years ago with somebody, you are putting £50 aside, and they got a coach that told them this is the best place for you to invest, and you are investing here. And at the end of the day, the same amount of money over the same period of time, somebody got 53,000, somebody got 120,000. Not because they did not invest, not because they did not start at the same time, because they did not seek counsel. Please get a coach. It will help you.
I
You know,
think
the coaches short circuit your pain.
mm, mm. Coaches short circuit your pain. So the first thing get a coach. I think it's the first thing to get a coach. Because if you're honestly, if you're putting the money aside in the wrong vehicle, maybe you are a one-eyed man in the land of the blind. Yes,
Absolutely.
you still don't have full vision, right? So I mean, it has been good conversations. I've enjoyed, and this is just foundational. Like what we have talked about today is just foundation. We have not, it's like having breast milk into financial literacy. There are still tougher conversations that, should be had. But this conversation is just for people that are getting started. You had a plan, something happened along the way, you had to reroute, you went to see Dami, right? You went to see
There's a lot of
Dami.
dummies. There's a lot of dummies, in the course of life. People we care about, but each time you take your eye away from a target, the target has moved.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this has been very refreshing for me as well, reminding me of things that I am doing and I should do more, or that I should up my game in, right? So if you're listening to this, we will definitely bring Dr. Mayowa back to come and give us like the strong meat conversations. But this is for beginners like myself or not. I don't think I'll put myself in that beginner spot anymore. I'm definitely not there in that expert level just yet, but I've been in coaching for a couple of months into years now, and I can see the reward of guidance. I can see the reward of delayed gratification. I can see the reward of keeping my money, not the one I'm giving my landlord or giving my energy supplier, giving the council tax, giving internet, paying Metrolink, Avanti West Coast, Uber. Ah, oh Lord. Like, like what I think about, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Right? But keeping my money, and then from then on, we then now start talking about budgeting, tracking your finances monthly. Those are now more structural ways, and all of these and more you will get when you sign up for coaching. And buy knowledge and don't sell it. Even the Bible said so.
Absolutely.
Buy it and don't sell it. And the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time
Mhm.
to start is now.
Right.
Like today. Do not wait. Um, he's giving us a code. Use my name as the code. Once you get on, sign up with Olusore and just start that journey. 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 Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Yep. If you're currently in one Dammy's house right now, stand up. London is waiting for you.
Get into trouble for this analogy I use.
I know so many Dammys. They are going to be like, what did you do on your podcast? So thank you so much, Dr. Mayowa. We are going to bring you back, but we want to ensure that we're building something. We're not talking about higher things. We're not talking about, oh, what's happening in the stock market today, what's happening, what has been happening with gold. We're not going to talk about all of that now, because we need to put the foundation right for us to start building well, building accurately, building correctly. You're your most important asset. You are
Absolutely.
your most like, because if you take you out of the picture, every other thing, like, I don't know what I was reading recently that says if you take a man out of the picture, all his plans die immediately. Like, you plan to see somebody, you plan to do this, once you're out of the picture, everything is gone. So you
You
need.
are the picture.
Exactly. So you need to be intentional about yourself and not make the mistakes the generation of our parents made, because they did not have the right knowledge. They did not have the right guidance. They didn't have the right coach. Some did not even have coaches, right? So with this, we would call this a day. Do make sure to visit myolusoji.com, find out about their services, book a session. Don't forget to use the Olusore code. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you very much for having me, Olusoji. Bye, everybody. See you around. God bless.
God bless.